I mean, to
Flex.
put you on the
You do,
spot.
man.
Yeah,
Let's
but
put you on
yeah,
the spot.
I'll put you on the spot.
A
You can also
podcast.
deflect.
Okay. Deflect some missiles back to you.
Yeah. What's another way you think, as a DM, that you can bring your players into the game and immerse them in your environment, your lore?
I'm gonna deflect. I need a moment.
Deflect. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the backstories. I think that you can use the play. So if you have a, I'm not going to say problem player, but if you have a player who seems to be into his character but not fully involved and immersed in the world, dropping a little flavor from his, or a little detail from his backstory into a random encounter or a random area or whatever will not only bring him right in. He'll be so intrigued by that, and he'll remember he wrote that backstory like a year ago, and how did you remember that? DM, you're so amazing. Like, you're the coolest person in the world. You come up with all these temples and dungeons for us to crawl around. You're the best. You never forget anything. Like, you're welcome, and also you too.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah. But like, they're gonna want to. It's a world building experience for the DM as well, because their backstory now relates directly into your world that you're creating, and it's a good little way to expand. So I'm trying to remember how I did. So with Rena, and I always go back to one of your characters, we did that. But I think Booterbot, we did. His backstory was just melded, ironed into the story that we were in.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well.
He wanted to be like in the story, and so as we were developing that last section, we just interwove all of his story and into that.
It was crazy.
Into the city, into the gnomes, into he's a bodyguard.
Yeah.
And that just became canon.
Yeah, and it was 100 years ago.
Yeah.
He was a bodyguard 100 years ago, but he's a robot, and he stays alive, and the person he's guarding is gone. And then he he's like, hey guys, what's going on? It's like, oh shit, you gotta go.
Yeah.
It
was perfect.
It was great. So like, really weaving, that's a good example, and that's also on YouTube. Act 7. And you can see in it, especially it's the flat earthers versus the round earthers. Yeah, that's the episode, or maybe the one before, like right there. 8th episode of that act. You can see it just sort of flowed in. There wasn't like a big intro. Hey, how you doing? Let's spend an hour of game time in this pivotal arc of the talking about it. But weaving the backstories is great. But also, you don't have to, in my opinion, weave it in like that. We ironed that thing in.
Yeah.
Like, in your experience, how do you weave in backstories?
I am not so great at weaving in backstories, but the way I've liked to do it is introduce. So I envision the world not necessarily static, but it's in its current state. And in order to bring backstory or create change, I use an NPC or a card or a message to come in and throw that backstory into the story. So, like what you were saying, it could be they go to a shop and it's some random, or it's a character's third cousin, and they need some help for their late sister's grandmother's medication.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have you guys roll into a store, and I'm just gonna have everyone recognize all of you. And I'm gonna be like, "How do I know you? Where do I know you from?"
We all
immerse.
We walk into the story. We all roll a d20. Whoever gets the highest that's whose relative is in the store.
Oh my God! There's gonna be a big mall where you can buy anything you want in the cloud kingdom in the sky. It's gonna be called Immersion. It's gonna be great. All I'm gonna do is like every single thing in that store is gonna be based around every character's immersing everyone in. But yeah, so not to get too far off topic, but backstories I feel like is a good even subtle details, just a small little, like with Rena in the Force. I always go back to that one as the example because I wanted to try that and I did it and I thought it was successful. I took your character's backstory and I just looked for a detail, which was the ship's name and the ship's plaque. Like you knew, I didn't know what the logo of the family business was, but I told you recognized the ship's plaque and you recognized like on it after scraping it or whatever you did, your family's logo, and like the ship was like buried underground. And like I thought that was cool. I hope you thought it was cool. I think other people thought it was cool.
But something that I always find is important is you want to have that drop, not just like make a little ripple, because it's very easy if it's like an uncomfortable part of someone's backstory for them to just like brush it off. Like if you're gonna throw some backstory in there, make it a splash. Yeah. Make it affect the party a little more than, oh, you saw a person in a shop at a passing glance. Like, force that interaction a little if you want to bring that backstory in.
Maybe
make them decide to either ignore it or engage.
Put it at the entrance of a dungeon.
Yeah.
That'll be, and even if there's no answer to it, that'll be one hell of a dungeon for that character.
Yeah, it will be. So,
Chris, you're up now.
Am I up? Yeah.
One way, and you can deflect again.
No, I got.
Because I've got my deflecting. I got my hand here. Boom.
No, I'm good.
Play. From your Dungeon Master experience playing Dungeons and Dragons, what would you recommend to a Dungeon Master to bring the characters in, to immerse them? The players, that is.
The players, to really immerse them into their characters in the world.
Yeah.
So something that I've discovered over the past couple years is random pets are a joy to all my players. And they get this, you get to see the other side of their characters in like oh, this is my cute little cuddly puppy that I found as a stray, versus all the time I'm this barbarian's gonna tear your head off. And it's like, I find it brings the player a lot of the times into their character in a non-combat, in a more role-playing, like, oh, I'm gonna play with my puppy a little or train them, or there's something else there to bring them into a softer side of their character.
That is a very good. You did a good job with that topic. Like, pat yourself on the back. You know, you get some inspiration. DM gets some inspiration.
I get some DM inspiration. So next time my big bad monsters coming to you, I'm gonna use that DM inspiration to crit you.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, you know, Booterbot has a cat. Now I think he forgot he has a cat. But when he had the cat, when he was like, can I keep this cat? I was like, yeah.
We bought it.
Yeah,
we bought that cat.
Yeah, we bought the cat. When he was like, can I buy this cat? And he was like, can I like keep it, like, as a player? Can my character keep it? Like, of course. Every now and then you'd go around and I would be like, all right, so what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Booterbot, what are you doing here? And he was like, I'm just stroking my cat, just looking around. You know, it's pretty good. It's a pretty, like, unique. It's a unique, like, idea. I love it.
And if you think of, like, every player has a couple NPCs that they remember from every campaign or adventure. If any character has ever had a pet, they remember it wholeheartedly. It's in character art. It's in everything. They might have a mini of it.
Pets. Oh yeah, pets are. Yeah,
that's my secret.
That's hilarious. And like, just think about like the idea of role playing with your pet. Like, you're gonna go here. You're gonna be like, where am I gonna tie him up? It's the dungeon. I don't want him to come in with me. Or do you keep him? Do you keep him like shut like in your bag? Do you carry him with you? Do you know like do you? Is he a guard? Do you have him? You know.
Well, and Spencer, I'm gonna spoil it for you too. Another DM tip: pets are the greatest infiltrators in any D&D party. A stray little puppy wandering down the street that happens to be some assassin that's trying to kill one of your party members, or is some devil or something that trying to do something, or some infiltrator from their big bad. But the party's gonna see a little helpless puppy and want to take care of it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, so Matt, our character, he took the baby. He's an NPC killer, so we'll do one on. He's not a problem player. He's just an NPC killer. So what do you do with that?
He likes to push. He likes to.
And I've come up with the ultimate solution for the NPC killer that pushes boundaries and sort of like kills your story or tries to, is to lay on the big guilt. So you guys went in there and you killed all these people. They were mind flayers, and you killed them. And then you went upstairs. You did a perception check. Yeah, it was low, but fuck it. I wanted to, give it to Matt. I wanted to give it to Matt, and I was like, perception check of 5 is still not low enough not to hear, and what you hear is a baby crying. And he was like, everyone that was playing was like, Spencer. Well, you know what? You shouldn't have killed the mommy and daddies. Okay, so now Matt's rolling around with a baby. It's just like, to your point, like, he's not a pet, but like he is sort of like a pet. Yeah. He's rolling around with a baby.
Companion.
Yeah, and so like every now and then he's like, well, I'm gonna, first off, before I knife this guy to death because I can't stand him, I'm gonna make sure that baby Urgo's okay.
Yeah, make sure to see if Zurgo needs the brain, or can I just destroy this guy's brain?
Yeah. The best part about that,
or do I need to salt this one for later?
Best part about that pet was that he's a baby mind flayer that needs brains for sustenance. It's like, is he hungry? Yeah. Okay, I'll kill this guy instead. But I think it's a great idea. Little pets. Things. It doesn't have to be a pet. It'd be creative, like Urgo. Yeah. It could be a talking plant. It could be anything. Like,
it could be
that.
An egg.
Making
it doesn't
them.
Have to, It doesn't have to be a lot. Start with an egg. Give it a promise. Make them work for it.
Yeah.
Make them show love and compassion.
You remember?
They care.
You remember when we had the egg and the centaur stepped on it? I know.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was brutal. I remember I went to sleep. I was like, wow, I think I got in touch with something there. It's crazy. I mean, we rolled so low, though. It had to happen.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
It was insane.
We tried. We tried and failed miserably.
That one is not on YouTube, but it is playable on the upcoming encounters. That we'll be producing for everyone. But those are good ideas, dude. Pets are great way to immerse your character. It lets the player and player character care about something other than the mission's goal. So it's like, how do you get through this dungeon and have everyone still intact, including this kitten. Even though the kitten's probably a dragon.
Even though there's no way the kitten should have survived the fireball.
Oh, yeah.
But it did.
Yeah, and it's bigger. That's really cool.
That's not creepy at all.
So that's great.
Every time it gets damaged, it gets bigger.
So that's four suggestions for immersing your players.
Yep.
What were they, Chris?
They were.
I'll help you.
Descriptions.
Yes.
Of your scenes. Asking questions to your players to draw out their backstories.
Using NPCs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. NPCs that ask questions to draw information for their backstories or NPCs from their backstories. There was my first deflection, which I don't remember.
Cats. Pets.
No, pets was my answer. I forgot what your second one was.
Oh, weaving backstories. Oh, the first one. Oh, it was NPCs. Like you can
your second one.
Backstories.
Backstories.
Yeah, I had NPCs and backstories. You
NPCs
had
and backstories.
Yeah, we'll cut this part out. But those of you who are just joining us, we are dads. We're exhausted. We're having a good time. We just forgot what we said. But so what I got was we had
it all blends together because
for sure, and they're easy.
Being a DM isn't all about just plopping these tools in. It's just having fun with your friends and using whatever you can to make it feel fun.
I'll tell you right now, though, if you were to start just a one session right there, like when I come down to Florida, when I bring my New York ass down there and we play, and you're running the show this time, not me.
Oh, of course.
I would like to have a very good description, just one that's been that's been read. It's being read to me. I don't mind it being read. I like to have an NPC that's asking my character about himself. I'd like to have a pet found, and I like to have a little bit of my backstory interwoven into the actual realm.
Story.
And what I mean by backstory, it's not just like a character coming up to me and asking me about my backstory. There is a detail up in the backstory in the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the guy was in the library forever. And like that's his story, and he's bored now. He's going out and adventuring. Well, guess what? There's a book that you recognize from your library in this dungeon. Go, bam, bang that out.
In the prison that you're walking through to save a prisoner, you find another figure in a cell. That figure happens to be the artist, the craftsman who made your golf club.
What's his name? You know it too, because you paid him.
Yep.
Yeah, let the player build. Let the player build the world. Maybe that's the next one. You know what? That's going to be our next topic in 2 weeks. Letting the players build the worlds. That's pretty good too. Yeah, you walk down the street and someone says, "John?"
And how do you respond? Phyllis?
Cool point. I give you a cool point. But that's how you do it. That's our suggestions. 4 suggestions.
Roll high and subscribe.
Roll high and subscribe.
Gotcha this time. I told you I would.
Yes, you did. You snuck it in there. We will talk about anything Dungeons and Dragons related in 2 weeks in our next Let's Talk Lore. If you want a specific topic, drop it in the comments. We'll be happy to address it. And we'll see you on Monday night.
Any other tips for immersion for DMs? Drop them in the comments as well.
We love tips. I love them. They're awesome. They're amazing. I love it when an actual DM is like, I did that, and it was hilarious. Someone commented last time about what the hell was it? Actually, we were actually playing the game, and it was a D20 situation where it's like two like you had like a fudge number type thing.
Oh,
I think a fudge number came. Oh no, someone failed. Someone failed, and it was like he should die. I forgot what happened in the fail, but you DM'd this. It was 2 sessions ago. 4 weeks ago.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but he was like, "Yikes." I would have DM'd that a little bit differently, but I was like, "Well, he had a story to tell." That's, But yeah, this portion of the Let's Talk Lore will be cut out of it, but that's for subscribers.
This is for those who join us live during these sessions. You get to see behind the scenes of our banter between our ramblings.
I would like to build I was thinking, I need to get back into my world building element. The next Let's Talk Lore, instead of doing an NPC, I'd like to do our dice throwing thing, and let's build the Sky Kingdom.
Oh.
Not that we're going to
Interesting.
necessarily go there.
After all of the 14,000,000 plot hooks and in about 6 years real world time when we actually get there, because we will go to the Dwarf Kingdom, because I want to see that fight between the Sky Dwarfs and the Loxodon. And I need to see, even if Stag is dead at that point, I need to see the ripple effect of Stag having the Round Earthers be the Elephant People, the Loxodon, and Trigard. I need to see where that goes.
Yeah, because
I know you'll pull that out.
Remember, they are also arguing about Flat Earthers and Round Earthers up there too.
Yep.
But I think it's flopped.
I know. I think that's why it's funny that it's that way in Trigard. The rumor.
The rumor is the world's flat. Haven't decided quite yet which one it is, but
we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
when we get to the edge, we'll see if we go off or if we keep going.
You go back to you go to the other side.
Roll a D100 to see if it's flat or round.
What if you just walk towards it and then like bump and you're like, wait a minute, now I'm facing that way. Yeah. Physics is yours. Also, well, I don't want to. I'm taking over DMing soon. I'm just like so excited. I have all these ideas, but we'll let them come out naturally.
You got to survive this next couple sessions.
I gotta start sensing evil really quickly, right?
No, there's no evil anywhere.
I didn't want to sense evil on Evil Titan Tamer because it's fucking obvious.
Yes. Well, I am surprised that no one picked up on his underlying information. Like there's a lot of unspoken information about Titan Tamer out there.
I'll go and
like insinuations about him and about the area. So there's some things that I'm curious to when you guys are going to pick up on.
That's interesting.
Some bits of information. I've been like slowly feeding little clues here and there.
If you want to know who Titan Tamer is, we built him together on YouTube, on our NPC builds that we do, and he is pretty good.
Also, if you want to see evil Titan Tamer, we
In
have
action.
a level 20 one-shot with Titan Tamer and Agoth Doomhand.
Yeah, you can't. We know we're going to do another one of those, right?
Absolutely, that was so much fun.
Yeah, the next time I'll DM it, and it's going to be underwater or something like that. Add the element of swimming to it.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. But until then,
Roll high and subscribe.
Yeah, roll high and subscribe. You did it to me again. Now we're tied. Those are some good DM tips. I will edit them so that they're easier to view. Subscribe on YouTube. Watch them again on our reels. Drop anything in the comments that you want to talk about or suggestions for us.
See you Monday night.
Yeah, see you Monday night. I can't wait to fight this Titan Tamer, but I don't think that's happening Monday.
I
feel like
really
plot-
hope you
there's gonna be
guys
like a
don't
plot
try
twist.
and fight Titan Tamer.
It's gonna be like
He is
some sort of plot twist.
He is so much stronger than you guys are.
No, I got a golf club. It's fine.
Okay.
All
We'll
right.
see.